It all started with a reflection, one that didn't belong to her. Sara had always loved antiques, especially mirrors. There was something enchanting about seeing her reflection framed by history, as if time itself had paused for her. So when she saw the old mirror at the flea market, gold-framed, tarnished with age, she couldn't resist. The seller was eager to part with it, muttering something about bad energy. But Sara didn't care. It was perfect. The mirror fit perfectly on the wall of her bedroom. That night, as she stood in front of it, something felt off. It was subtle at first. Her reflection seemed to lag, just by a fraction of a second. When she raised her hand, her reflection did too, but slower. She blinked, rubbed her eyes, but nothing seemed out of place. Days passed, and the odd feeling grew stronger. Her reflection began doing things on its own, small, almost unnoticeable movements. It would smile when she wasn't, or linger when she walked away. One night, she caught it watching her long after she had turned away. Her heart pounded as she stared into the glass, trying to rationalize it. But what scared her most was that no one else saw it. Friends, family, they'd laugh when she told them the mirror was haunted. "Just your imagination," they said. Sara wanted to believe them. She had to. Then, one night, everything changed. Sara woke up to a strange sound, like fingers tapping on glass. She sat up in bed, her room cloaked in darkness. The only light came from the moon, reflecting off the mirror. Her breath caught in her throat. Her reflection was moving, its fingers tapping, but she wasn't moving at all. Frozen in terror, she watched as her reflection stepped closer to the glass. Eyes locked on her. It raised a hand, pressing against the inside of the mirror's surface. The sound of glass cracking filled the room. Her reflection was trying to get out. Desperately, Sara scrambled out of bed and grabbed a heavy book from her nightstand. She hurled it at the mirror, shattering the glass into 1,000 pieces. She gasped for breath, her heart racing. It was over, or so she thought. The room was quiet, too quiet. Slowly, she looked down at the shards scattered across the floor, her stomach twisted with dread. Among the broken glass, her reflection was still there, staring up at her. And then a voice behind her whispered, "Now I'm free." She spun around, and there he stood, the Mirror Man. A grotesque, twisted version of her own face stared back at her from the shadowed corner of her room. Before she could scream, he moved, vanishing into the darkness. The mirror may have shattered, but he wasn't trapped anymore. Now every reflective surface, every mirror, every window was a doorway. And he was always there, waiting, watching, ready to take her place. Sara would never look into a mirror the same way again, because now he was on the other side.